Hello and welcome to the first Monday Musing for summer. So these are not required. What a Monday Musing is it's just me finding things that are in the current events, in newsletters, in the news, and showing you how everything that you read or hear ties into economics. So what I'm talking about today is a meeting between President Biden and the federal chair, Jerome Powell. So they met to discuss inflation. So we have not gotten here yet, but we will learn about the difference between monetary policy and fiscal policy. And fiscal policy is anything regarding taxing and spending, and that is something that is handled by Congress, by the Senate, by the president. So taxing and spending is fiscal, and monetary, which is anything that involves the money or credit, that is handled by the Fed. And what this article is really good about explaining is that the Fed is not a government agency. The Federal Reserve Bank of the United States does not have to listen to the president or the Congress or the Senate. They are independent of any political pressure, or they should be. So they just talk about, it says, shouldn't the president and the country's top economic policymaker be talking more? And it said they give each other the cold shoulder because the Fed is designed to shape monetary policy independent of the government. So short-term political considerations should not influence the Fed's decision because they are supposed to be looking at the long term. So the Fed is the one that through a number of different tools, they can increase the interest rate, decrease the interest rate, and all of that makes money either harder to get or easier to get. So as we go, we'll talk about like an easy money policy. So if the interest rate is really low, it's easy to take out a loan because you don't have to pay as much for that privilege of using what we call OPM, other people's money. But if the interest rate is high, then that makes money tighter. It makes it harder to get. It's basically more expensive. So if we have a lot of inflation, that means we have too much money chasing too few goods. So that's scarcity, right? And if we have too much money, then the price of all those goods will go up. That is the law of supply and demand working together. So what the Fed will try to do is they will make money more expensive, therefore people won't have as much of it, and then that will bring the prices down. So the rise in all prices, that's inflation, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We have crazy high inflation. So back to Biden and Jerome Powell, the president might not want the Fed to hike interest rates because it would slow the economy down during an election year, which is what we're in. This is midterms coming up. So there is a possibility that the Democrats are going to go, hey, let's not do that because then we might not get elected because people are going to be so mad. So the Fed should not listen to that sort of thing. So the White House does not have the power to make the Fed do one thing or another. So a lot of presidents, most presidents, do not exert pressure, although they sort of do behind the scene. But it says Trump did. It says he frequently tried to bully Powell, but it also says he elevated Powell to the Fed chair. So anyway, then Biden said that he would not try to influence the Fed, and that it is the central bank's responsibility to control inflation. So here we've got some spin. So we talk about normative versus positive statements. So remember that normative is the way things ought to be, and positive is the way things are. And positive can either be proven or disproven. So just because a statement is positive, it doesn't mean it's true. It means that it can either be proven or disproven by facts. So by saying it's the central bank's responsibility to control inflation could be an attempt to deflect some of the blame from the Democrats. So very, very interesting news today about the Fed. Biden said that they could help lower prices by passing clean energy tax credits that would lower utility bills, building more affordable housing, and allow Medicare to negotiate with pharmaceutical companies. So let me know what you think about this. Is this going to help the majority of people, or is this designed possibly to go toward the voter base, maybe, that he's trying to appeal to? Medicare, that's going to be all of your older people. Affordable housing, that's going to be more of your lower income people. So think about this, because there's a lot of spin, and that is one of the beauties of knowing economics, is you should be able to see through this spin and go, I see what they're doing there. So anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'll put a link to this newsletter, and you let me know your thoughts. If you'd like me to talk about anything in particular, please drop me an email. I'm happy to do research. If you look at some of my older Monday Musings, I've got ones on cyber currency. I've got ones on starting an IRA. So I'm happy to cover whatever you're interested in.